Everybody. So I'm going to be covering Mantine, all right? Mantine is very, 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 very solid. Their changes, however, are extremely straightforward because there's not much room here for anything too, I wouldn't say that it's not creative, but anything too out there. But they are extremely solid nonetheless. So stat-wise, it is just a lot bulkier and stronger. Big HP and defense boost. 100 base HP is fitting given how large they are. They are a gigantic manta ray. They're 7 foot long and 500 pounds, so they're huge. 100 base HP is very fitting. 85 defense is just a better defense stat, and then it retains its amazing 140 base special defense. So you might notice, that's really great with the water flying typing. I mean, that's a great defensive typing. It only has 2 weaknesses. Well, we consider the ability Guard and Gale. It actually removes the rock type weakness and then makes electric only a 2 times weakness. So it is very unique amongst the other normal flying types. Sorry, water flying types, excuse me. A little bit bigger. It's very unique amongst those water flying types. Obviously, the other ones are a lot faster or more offensive, but Mantine actually has its own offensive ability in Swift Swim. So I'll cover the logic for why I chose these abilities later, but Swift Swim is incredible because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's got a good 90 base pistol attack stat, and then it has Hurricane and has Water Stab. Simple as that. It's just a good mon to run in the rain. Base 80 speed with 0 speed investment is extremely fast under the rain. With very minimal speed investment, you can outspeed basically everything. So you can just run max HP, max special attack, and then Swift Swim sets, with the rain. It's really awesome. While Guard and Gale is your ability that you're going to be using in most other situations where you're not taking advantage of the rain, because not every fight you're going to be wanting to use rain. So Swift Swim is there. You do have access to infinite ability capsules, so it's really easy to just switch Swift Swim when you want that offensive sweeper, and then it's great to use Guard and Gale in every other context, just as a regular ability that you're going to be having most of the time. It's a great defensive ability. 185, 140 bulk on a Pokemon with literally only 1 weakness, 2 times to electric is incredible. That also overrides other weather. So for example, literally any weather, it actually even overrides stuff like Sweltering Sun and Stormy Seas, which only a few Pokemon have, but it of course overrides regular weather, which is incredible. And actually normal weather won't even come in and be able to override it. Like for example, if they send in a Powdown or something, I don't know, there's tons of new Sandstream mons, of course, but that's just the first one I thought of. The sand will not go up no matter what with Guard and Gale, so that's incredible as well. Also for the logic, yeah, I did choose Guard and Gale because, they are like these giant manta rays, and they're called the kite Pokemon, and they glide around. So I feel like getting this guarding Gale to leap around and stuff across the waves fits pretty nicely. Excuse me. And it fits Mantine's nature as a more bulky defensive Pokemon, although obviously it can be extremely offensive. Even without Swift Swim, it's got a decent special attack stat. It has a solid move pool. Not anything crazy. Not too many moves make a lot of sense. Mantine did have a ridiculous physical move pool, but there's already physical water flying types with, Swanna is mixed, and then Gyarados is mixed as well. Both of them will be mixed attackers. So there's no real point in making Mantine one as well. Not to mention, Mantine would have to have a much higher base stat total to be a mixed attacker. So I opted to just keep it as a special attacker. I did actually consider Rapid Fire at one point in development because of the Remoraid, but Remoraid is actually doesn't even appear in its Gen 7 model. Another stupid change in 3 days that they removed the Remoraid. So that doesn't make any sense anymore, and even if it made sense, it wouldn't be that great of an ability because I would prefer the defensive nature of Guard and Gale and the offensive nature of Swift Swim. Rapid Fire is just kind of useless compared to Swift Swim and Guard and Gale. So especially because your physical attack is very low, so you can't use stuff like Surging Strikes. Mantike does have Water Absorb instead of Guard and Gale just for logical reasons. Water Absorb is a solid ability. Obviously, you do resist water, but being immune is always very a useful tool, no matter what. Even if you are resistant to that type, switching in, getting that free HP, taking that strong rain-boosted water move or whatever, which normally, say a strong liquidation would probably do over half to your Mantike, but now it's completely immune, so that's always a great trait to have, no matter what its resistance is. Of course, that does turn into Guard and Gale when it evolves, which is a better ability for it. So that's awesome. Coverage-wise, it's a little bit limited, but it's solid enough. It has Water and Flying Dual Stab. Of course, in the rain, it can use stuff like Hurricane and Hydro Pump. Hurricane normally is not even that bad. It's 85% accuracy, 120 base power, so that's a great move. And then Hydro Pump is 90% accuracy and 120 base power, so that's excellent. It has no additional effect. Surf has 95 flat. Scald is there. you know, Water Pulse, Water Pledge, that kind of stuff. Water Pledge has a small chance. It's 1 in 4 chance. That's not small. 1 in 4 chance to boost your special attack step by 1 as well, which is nice. Over Scald if you want to run that. Brine is nice, you know, for bulkier sets especially. I would recommend Brine because if you're running like a purely bulky set and you need a water type move, Bubble Barrage is nice for dropping speed, you know, by -3. But otherwise, Brine is nice because you can whittle away at the opponent, and then once they get below half, it actually does double damage, so that's pretty cool. It's not that great in offensive mons, but it's not. Brine is great, but it's greater. It's better on bulkier mons that don't do that much damage with Brine in the first place. So that way, say Brine does 25% to something because you're not running any special attack investment. Okay, you click Brine again, you roost up to get your recovery back, and then that third Brine, now they're below half HP, so now they're taking 140 base power. So that's great. But yeah, coverage-wise, it has Ominous Wind, Signal Beam, Weather Ball, Ice Beam, Psychic, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, and Focus Blast. A bit limited, but it hits everything it needs. Focus Blast is kind of weird, but I think they kind of need it just for the coverage. Sludge Bomb and Ice Beam and Sludge Wave make sense, given that it got Gunk Shot by a tutor. I did remove all those physical moves just because there wasn't a point in me listing them there, besides a couple, like Bounce just for logic, but like otherwise there's no point in me listing them. There's just no point in me putting them there. So they don't have it anymore. But of course, I used that Gunk Shot logic to give them access to Sludge Bomb and Sludge Wave, and they did also learn Side Beam because of the Rimmer rate, I believe. So I gave them Psychic. Natural Gift turns into any type in the game. Signal Beam is nice, coverage, 80 base power, plus 1 in 4 chance to boost your special attack stat. You know, it's solid. It's got coverage moves that it needs. Overall, though, it is going to be running bulkier sets for the most part. You're usually using it as a defensive mon that can also be fast and offensive. And then when you're running Swift Swim, again, for specific fights, you know, you're thinking, oh shit, I want to run this crazy Rain Mantine, Rain main tech. You know, it's very strong. But in other situations, you're not going to want that. You're going to want the utility of Guardian Gale or Water Absorb. I would say Swift Swim is better on Mantike, obviously, because Water Absorb is situational, but it's good ability nonetheless. Yeah, you have access to Z-Soak. Z-Soak gives you +2 special attack, so does Supersonic. Soak can be good for totems, as can Haze. Whirlwind is awesome because it's priority and has 1 PP, so you can force the opponent out, which is pretty cool. Wide Guard is actually great because I give it more PP now, so essentially the Wide Guard, you can actually PP stall spread moves, such as Rock Slide and stuff. The opponent will be clicking it, and then you'll just be clicking Wide Guard in a row, because Wide Guard actually doesn't work like Protect. Wide Guard and Quick Guard are spammable, meaning there's no like penalty for clicking it multiple times in a row, so you can actually PP stall a lot of really, really strong spread moves, or in Quick Guard's case, priority moves really easily. That's awesome. You know, it's situational, but it's there just for logic, and because I had it already. I believe, right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, the Z boosting sets are pretty good, or Calm Mind in Swift Swim sets, or without. I would say Calm Mind is good on its own, and then in the rain, you can run stuff like Calm Mind or Z-Soaker or Supersonic, which is pretty cool. You do have Amnesia plus Roost is great. Obviously, your special defense that already. Oh my god, I'm talking too quick. Excuse me. Of course, your special defense stat is already high, very high. But you know, doesn't hurt to have a little bit more there if you want to run 0 investment with like max defense, max HP, Amnesia, Roost, and just stall the shit out of them. That's something you can do for sure. Yeah, it's just really solid, reliable stuff. It does have access to the Hydro Cannon plus crit move combo. Hydro Cannon is 150 base power, -2 special attack. There are tons of new moves like that. If you're curious, you can go check out the Google Sheets in the description. You can see there's like 20 new moves that do that exact same thing, like Hyper Beam, Giga Impact, etc. So Hydro Cannon is great, and then you can click Aero Blast, which always crits now. So Aero Blast is 65 base power, 95% accuracy, and always crits, effectively making it 98 base power. But the cool thing is you can use Hydro Cannon, drop your special attack stat by 2. You can use it again because the second hit is 75 base power, which is not terrible. And then you can go and click Aero Blast a bunch and bypass your special attack drop, which is cool. You know, it's just solid, man. It's a really fucking solid, tanky, strong Pokemon. Guardian Gale is incredible. Basically with Guardian Gale, it only has 2 times weakness to electric. It loses to rock weakness, and then it has an immunity to ground, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistances to fire, water, fighting, steel, and bug. So it has very solid resistances and only 1, 2 times weakness. Really great mon for sure. Just with the defensive stats and all that crap, it's just a really nice solid mon. It has a decent speed stat without Swift Swim too, so it can run like Roost. It can hit Roosts pretty. What am I trying to say? It can get a Roost off really nicely with that speed stat as well. Yeah, there's really not too much else to cover. It's just a very solid, good mon. big buffs here. Obviously, they look minor, but they are major with the great new ability, access to Hurricane and Swift Swim, better special attack, and a much better bulk. Straightforward, but awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's on the shorter side because it's very straightforward. Not too much else I could really do with them, but they are incredible nonetheless, and I hope you found it interesting and informative. If you like this kind of thing and you're new here, make sure you subscribe. That would be helpful for me and for you. For you, it can help you see my new videos. You can also go back and watch my others if you're interested. But mostly for me, it helps with the algorithm if you subscribe, comment, and like. That would be beneficial to me. So, if you listen this far, you may as well do that for me. I think that's about it. I'll be back for more, so bye, guys.